This is VidClip Session1 2026 for the OntarioTechU University BA program in Educational Studies. And this is for the course EDST1100 Problem and Inquiry-Based Learning. The analysis questions for this video clip are as follows. Which competencies will need to be accessed and/or developed in this course? Second question, which tools make use of synchronous technologies? How can you tell if a tool is synchronous or not? And thirdly, which tools allow for the creation of information and/or projects that will be used to facilitate the course activities? This particular video clip is all about the kinds of software that's used in this course, tools and affordances, but will just be a brief introduction to these particular tools. Affordances can be thought of as the quality of an object that provides or makes a specific function available to users. Competencies, however, refer to the quality of individuals in being adequately or well qualified to use those functions. The General Technology Competency and Use Model or Framework, EDST1100U, is used as the basis for determining the competencies which will be addressed by the affordances embedded in the software tools used. And you will already have come across the HCHI model or the GTCU model as it's become known by responding to the questions in the surveys that a link that I provided for you. Technical competencies can be defined as interactions between learners and the technology, involving navigation of the interface and the software, as well as the usage of the hardware itself. Social competencies, in the social order, are interactions between learners using the affordances of communication provided by the technology. There are a couple of other qualities or characteristics that can be found within social competencies as well. Informational competencies are finding, sorting, creating, aggregating, filtering, and connecting information using technologies. Notice that it's not just using or consuming these particular pieces of information, but it's also creating those particular pieces of information as well. Epistemological competencies refer to the creation and modification of knowledge using technology in order to problem solve. Or I have come to refer to this, particularly in some of more recent articles, as a means of assisting us in our thinking. So cognitive tools or cognitive assistance tools, etc. This is a reference to Desjardins, Lacasse, and Belair, 2001, and I will put a copy of that particular piece into the additional resources channel in Discord. And there's also a reference to the GTCU page on the EI Lab website. Okay, the first category of software that we're going to be taking a look at, or tools that we'll look at, are video conferencing tools. And these will require skills within the area of the social, the informational, and the epistemological orders of the GTCU framework or model. The primary tool that we'll look at here is Google Meet. There are a number of technical requirements. We'll be using Google Meet for all face-to-face virtual communications. Note that this is face-to-face because we'll actually be seeing each other through our webcams and therefore being able to actually read emotional content. All candidates must have the necessary computer resources. In other words, a computer that is capable of handling Google Meet kinds of interactions, as well as high-speed internet, microphone, and webcam. And must have also the ability, i.e. the skills, to join and maintain video conference connection to participate in all classes. It has changed significantly over the past few years in the sense that mobile devices now are capable computers as well. And the hardware list then includes the following categories: desktop and laptop computers using Windows, Apple OS, and Linux as the operating systems, Chromebooks, laptops using Google Chrome as an operating system, tablets using iOS and Android as operating systems, smartphones using iOS and Android as operating systems, some gaming devices, and there are a number of them out there, but these are gaming devices that allow you to do audio-video conferencing. And then there are some Internet of Things devices, IoT devices, that also allow you to do these kinds of interactions. The internet access that you must have is somewhere in the neighborhood. It has to have sufficient speed or bandwidth to allow full audio and video participation in Google Meet meetings. It's suggested that this connection should be accessed from home, as schools tend to have firewalls that can block several or many of the features of these courses, such as video conferencing or watching videos on YouTube, etc. You will not pay for textbooks for most, if not all, courses in the program, and consequently, I recommend that you'll put your money into the best internet connection that you can afford. Speed test for your internet connection can also be performed at speedtest.net so that you can see what your speeds are, and you should think about minimum speeds as being at least 10 megabits per second download on your device and at least 5 megabits per second upload speed. If you've got more than that, that's absolutely wonderful. Great. Google Meet has a number of tutorials. You can look these up, or I recommend the Google Meet tutorial that I am providing for you from YouTube itself. Discord also allows for audio-video conferencing. However, itself is a free communication platform for communities, allowing users to chat via text, voice, and video in organized small spaces called servers. This is originally popular with gamers, but it's now used for any interest, offering features like persistent chat rooms and voice channels, roles, and permissions for management on desktop and mobile devices. Note there is a web version as well as a standalone application. I would suggest that you actually work with the standalone application and keep it persistent and have notifications coming to you so that you'll see the kinds of changes that have occurred on our server, as well as any notifications that you get from others wanting to chat, etc. Next category of devices we're going to refer to as collaborative document production and editing. Skills you are required to have fall within the information, social, and epistemological orders of the GTCU, as well as the technical. And the examples that we're using is Google Drive and Google Docs. Both are required for the course. And just like Google Meet, they're available to you through your OntarioTechU.net account. And you should be, as standard practice, making use of your .NET account to access any materials and tools through this course. Google Drive itself allows you to share your documents with colleagues and friends, regardless of the format in which they're created. There are at least 3 different document formats available through Google Docs itself: a word processor called Docs, a spreadsheet called Sheets, and a presentation tool like PowerPoint called Slides. You can share a Google Drive document regardless of format by sharing a link, provided you adjust the permissions across most platforms, including Discord. So instead of sending an entire document, it's recommended that you just share the link to the document in Discord, and it'll actually save space and save time as well. There's a Google Drive tutorial available, and I'll give you the URL for that, as well as a tutorial for Google Docs. While Google Docs or GDocs started out as a basic word processing with basic word processing capability, in a cloud-based application, it also allows for synchronous use by multiple simultaneous users. They must have shared access to the same document, and users can simultaneously edit, modify a Google Doc, and all modifications will be simultaneously updated on the Google Drive site. Discussions, reflections, etc. is the next category, and these particular tools work within the social and informational. In other words, you'll have to have skills in the social and informational categories to be able to make use of them. First one that we're going to talk about is Web Knowledge Forum, or Knowledge Forum for short. It's an online collaborative software platform designed to support knowledge building, which was a basic concept that was promoted by Carl Breiter and Marlene Scardamalia from the University of Toronto. Knowledge building is a process where learners work together as a community to create, advance, and share new ideas and understanding, moving beyond simple information sharing to genuine knowledge creation, often used in educational settings to foster deep inquiry and innovation. It functions like a database where users post notes, link them, build on them, challenge ideas, fostering sustained idea advancement and collaborative problem solving in a coherent framework that integrates knowledge work with e-learning. Tutorials for WebKF can be found on the IKIT, Institute for Knowledge, Innovation and Technology, their YouTube channel. I've given you the URL for that. I've also linked 9 different tutorials for WebKF on the welcome page in WebKF itself. So once you log in, you'll see them on that first page. Please note that Discord is also a discussion reflection. It's much more basic. You won't be able to do the kinds of reflections that we're going to be talking about because they're not available to everybody on Discord, but it certainly is used as a mechanism for promoting discussions, etc., particularly if you use the respond to feature. Next category we're going to call concept mapping, and I'll put that together with AI tools on the same page. Concept mapping is going to be used as a means of tracking your knowledge, what you have developed over time, and we're going to be taking a look at it from the perspective of what have you learned about learning from the beginning of the course to the end of the course. The application we're using is CMAP Cloud. To use CMAP Cloud, create an account at the URL cmapcloud.ihmc.us, and then build and access concept maps or CMAPs directly on the web, syncing your work to the cloud for easy access, sharing, and collaboration across devices. You can create CMAPs in the cloud, link resources, and even share them as web pages, making it a great presentation tool. You can also print them as a PDF file, which then we can actually take a look at what you have been able to actually create there. There's a tutorial for CMAP Cloud, and I'm giving you the URL for that as well. You are able to make use of AI tools in this course. AI tools, of course, empower constructivist learning by acting as dynamic partners for co-construction of knowledge, offering personalized scaffolding, facilitating inquiry-based learning, and enhancing collaboration through real-time feedback and dynamic group support, aligning with constructivist goals of active student engagement and deeper understanding rather than passive information reception. They help create adaptive environments where students build meaning through experimentation, critical evaluation of AI-generated content, and active expression, fostering autonomy and problem-solving skills. The example that I'm using is Gemini, which is a Google product. While there are many others that you could actually take a look at, this is the one that I typically make use of. The theoretical framework that I'm suggesting for you is found in the Desjardins-Lacasse and Belair 2001 article, and you can find that in the additional resources channel of Discord. Finally, the synthesis questions for this video clip are, number 1, why would the social competency not be called the communication competency? Number 2, which competencies would be included in the Web 2.0 social network designation and why? Number 3, which competencies would be included in Web 3, the semantic web designation, and why? And number 4, what benefits do video conferencing affordances provide for an online course? Just a note, we actually have a research project that is ongoing by one of my grad students who's doing a thesis on this work about the distinction between Web 2.0 and Web 3.0 and the awareness of educators, both as students and as educational leaders, about Web 2 and Web 3 kinds of applications and their use within learning contexts. That brings us to the end of this particular video clip, and I will see you on the next one.